This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, the wait list for the combine is closing soon. You've got 7 days to get in. We also talk about baked beans, ice cream, Revels, and a big bowl of testing. 3, 2, 1, England!
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Dominique.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, England are fucking shit, aren't they? Jesus Christ.
We're winning. We're winning every game.
Actually embarrassing. I tell you what else is quite funny as well that I love is the whole deadline day for PSR, like all these clubs just trading players.
Yeah, I saw that. There was loads. There was like
I love it. I think it's brilliant. It's that whole thing around like just shows you how dumb the whole the whole system is. I think I love about clubs like that and the way football works is that people are like one step ahead, do you know, and like they always try and find a way. And I'm like, I get the rules behind, I get the understanding, but it surely needs to be done on a means tested basis per club because clubs will just find a way around it. Like, and the other one I saw was like the FA were like, or the Premier League were like, oh, we'll decide whether someone's worth that value or not. It's like, you can't. You cannot decide. You are in no place to say that person's not worth 100 million. If a club believes they're worth, they are. And this is the problem with the whole PSR stuff that I find mental is like you can just find loopholes, all this sort of stuff. And I'll be a bit of a tangent now, obviously, but I just thought it was relevant because we obviously been recently, hasn't it, the last few days that it's been kind of in the news a little bit more. But it just shows why it's just a dumb system in the first place. That teams are never gonna be able to compete because they have to sell fucking players. Just daft. Anyway, that's why England is shit. Run by morons in the Premier League and the FA. It's I can't wait. So I said to Alex if they were playing golf, and maybe you can help me out this time. Is it just me, or does every single England fan know what the problem is and can see the problem? Like everyone I speak to says exactly the same thing. They're like, Foden's ineffective, Saka's ineffective, Kane's not doing anything. Like every single person I speak to says the same thing. It's not like with football, there's loads of different opinions. It's not like you speak to random people here and they go, oh yeah, they should be doing a 5-3-2 or oh, they should play 3 up front or whatever. It's like everyone's okay with him going, here's a system. Are you just blind that you just can't see that these people are just not playing well? Like, I don't get how he cannot see it.
It's so bonkers. Like I listen to the rest is football, and every single game, like Shearer, Lineker, they're pulling quotes out fucking for all the time. Shearer, he gets in trouble for some of them. That's when he basically just said on his podcast that Kane was shit. Which he's perfectly in his rights to. He's a fucking broadcaster. He has been shit, and he was like, oh, he kind of handled it. He's like, oh, he's doing his job, but I would hope as a ex-England, you realise how hard it is or whatever. And Lineker and Shearer were like, yeah, we're doing our job. We're giving our opinion. It'd be an awful show if we just were like, oh, well done, lads. That was great. Absolutely awful. Which is like what podcasts are. People's opinion. It's all personal kind of thing. So they're allowed to do that. But yeah, they've literally said the same thing every single time. They're like, put Bellingham next to Rice, put Foden in the middle, and then play Gordon or Palmer or somebody and Saka. I was like, just play two of those three. Like
I saw the poll on where they're meant to be there at the end of the game and the player ratings, and it was like Ivan Toney came up top. I was like, he was on for fucking 30 minutes, right?
Apparently he was absolutely fuming about coming on. Like
I don't blame him.
Minute.
I don't blame him, right? Because everyone was there at halftime. Every pundit got to make changes. And I was like, he's not going to make a change. I was like, he's going to give it till 60 minutes. Didn't even do that. I was just like,
he was like,
and this is the thing that. The reason that I know this is so weird and the reason that I know that he's such a bad manager is that everyone is saying the same thing. It's not, this is my point, it's not like it's opinion. It's not like, oh, so-and-so saying this, so-and-so saying that. Every single pundit is like, what is he doing? Is he watching a different game? Like what is going on? I just think it's a real good example of why you should not be surrounded by yes men.
Yeah,
he is just surrounded by a bunch of yes men. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, Steve Holland will be going, oh yeah, it's great, keep going. The adaptability of it is mental. He cannot adapt in any way, shape, or form.
I think we've got to in a weird way. I think Michael Richards was talking about it, and Shearer was saying about it, and he was like, you look back at the performances that when we played or got far in the other cups and stuff, and it's like that's what he does. That's Gareth's system, is to defend. go for it a little bit at the start, get a 1-0 lead, and then defend because he's the defensive-minded coach. But if we wanted to play attacking, you have to get an attacking minded coach, which will happen after this, like 100%. You can't like have a squad of Bellingham, Saka, and obviously Kane's on his way out probably, but you've still got like Watkins, Tony coming through.
It's just for me that I think I hate is it's this whole like loyalty thing about Kane's a captain and he's been really good for England. Okay, he's been shit though, so
He's
drop
been
him
terrible.
because
But
Ivan
they're
Tony
like,
looked a
but he
million
scored
times
two
better.
goals.
I hate that. I hate that. I hate it because the thing I hate about that is you'll never know if you'd have put Watkins or Tony there, they'd have
Never
scored.
know. Yeah,
They'd have
yeah.
scored as well.
I
It's
think
like I'm not being
I
funny, but the goals he scored are not exactly fucking expertly crafted individual goals, are they? He's
no,
just
but
been
you
in
have
the
to be there,
box.
mate. You have to be
You have to
there.
be
That's
there,
the
yeah. But every other striker would have been there. I hate that.
thing.
I will never know. Well, yeah, we will never know. But based on everything else he's done in the whole game, I can be pretty
Speaking
sure.
as a true, I played up front during my small career. Daniel played like I don't know, fucking defensive midfield. I don't know where you played.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate.
The Makalele role, weren't you?
Right midfield,
Right,
or up front,
of course.
or up
All
front.
right.
Played up front for a bit. Right midfield, or up
Yeah.
front.
You're
Yeah,
too
yeah.
angry to play up front. Fuck off. You're not calm enough.
No, you have to be calm to play up front.
Ah,
Well,
no, that says the
Wayne
person.
Rooney. Wayne Rooney. What are you
He's
about?
yeah, he's thick. So if you put
Well,
yourself in
I'll take it.
that bracket.
Got the hairline for it
Let's be
as
there.
well.
Yeah,
So
you're fine. He had a hair transplant by the time he was like 22, wasn't he?
he's falling out again, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
He
look good.
is. He does not look good, does he? No.
I love
He
the whole
look,
comparisons like him and Ronaldo the same age. I'm
it's
like, oh
just
my God.
like there's a building site, one person missing there, like somewhere. That's just like, yeah, that's where he should
Yeah.
be. I'm fortunate. Mate, he's yeah, done well for himself. Bless him.
But yeah,
He's
Southgate to me is like the I nearly put a post out about it, but I just thought I couldn't be bothered.
oh
He is
well.
like the online coach just doing the same thing over and over again. It's fixed something else. He's literally just posting the same content, doing the same shit. I was like,
It's
okay.
coming home. It's coming home, Dan.
It's just
PPLP. How far are we in? I don't know how many minutes.
I can't
It's
do
coming
it.
home.
It's not. It's no way, man. We'll get battered by Switzerland.
We'll see. We can't. But that's the sorry state of affairs, isn't it? We're like, I think we're underdogs against fucking Switzerland. Like, fucking hell. Like they've got what 3 good players,
I can only
maybe.
name two of
But
them:
they're good. Like, what you got? Shaqiri,
Akanji, and Shaqiri.
Xhaka. He's their captain. Granit Xhaka just had a
Granit
worldie of a
Xhaka,
season.
yeah. Okay, yeah, Granit Xhaka, yeah,
Leverkusen, isn't
yeah, yeah.
he? Now he's had a worldie of a season. But yeah.
Three
Apart from
players.
that, you're like Mbolo is one of their strikers. Freuler.
We're
After
gonna get
that,
spanked as
no
well.
idea. I think there was a classic keeper, Sebastian Frey, wasn't he a keeper for them? I don't know.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
That was a long time ago. Yeah, well, I'm just pulling out all the old names. There's
I love this as well. Like, I just opened up BBC Sport. Then I love this whole like the new Chelsea manager signed that kid from Leicester.
yeah, I
I
know. What
love
was
it
that
when managers
about?
do that. I love it when managers do
They're
that. They
like,
move into
oh,
a
you
club
played
and
for
go,
it.
"Oh
You're
yeah, he's
like
my best player from there." I was like,
bringing him in.
"Yeah,
You're like,
Leicester in the Championship. What?
he's older than I thought as well. Dewsbury Hall. Anyway, we're not a football podcast, are we? I don't think we're going to
We
talk
should
about
be.
fitness.
We should be now. We should be now."
Well, I don't think we're talking about fitness very much on this show. If I'm honest.
Well,
Should
football
we?
is fitness, really, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, they run around a bit. They go football
they do
fit.
run around a bit. They do. They do. Does anyone know any good coaches that
Everybody
trains footballers? No, I don't know anyone.
everybody's
So,
starting their pre-season now. Pre-season starts now, boys. I know that's everybody's in. One of my mates is off. Where is he? He's in Hull, your old place. He's there for 2 days. Unlucky lad.
about to say, what the fuck's he doing there?
Doing their respiratory and
Most people go. Most people go. Warm weather training. Going to Hull. Oh.
he's got to go to he's got to go Hull to test all the Hull players and their captain players.
Oh, of course. Yeah, yeah. You mate. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. I know you mean.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's not gone to Hull for
yeah,
training.
for a
But
laugh. Yeah,
that. No, he
yeah.
gets to go sit in a van and speak to the delights of all the Hull-based players. I couldn't name one, unfortunately, when I was like, I don't know.
No, I
No,
couldn't name one
no,
now. I honestly
no.
couldn't name one now. Let me have a look. Shall I see if there's anyone still there from
I
when I
can't be,
was there?
mate. That's a lot.
There won't be anyone. It'll be too. It'll definitely be too long past now
Too
since
long
then.
now.
I
No,
would. I
like
would. I'll look at
I,
the. I'll look at it anyway.
I've
Maybe
got
double
my
check.
I've got my Brentford shorts on today. The amount of people think I support Brentford. I don't support
Yeah.
Brentford.
No, there's not a single player there from my time there. Let's look at management. Andy Dawson, first team head coach. He was there. Knew it.
There you go. Is he?
Johnny Ayres, kit manager. No. There you go. You see. See, I do know
Nice,
some
that's
people.
mate. Kit man.
Yeah. It's all good, isn't it? Oh, there you
All
go.
good.
Oh,
All right.
Liam Senior's gone as well. Fucking hell.
Oh yeah, they got rid of him. Didn't
Got rid of him, didn't they? Never mind. Anyway,
they? Anyway, that's
let's
football
crack on.
ticked off. Let's crack on. Let's talk about stuff. So I went to an ice cream place.
You did.
I did, yeah, which is fun. Um, and I thought it'd be interesting, Dan. You're gonna do some. You're gonna rank these in.
Ooh, not a blind ranking again, is it?
I don't know. Should we do a blind ranking?
Mate, you're in
Or
charge, you know.
what you'd think these were. So there's one to
You
50.
can do a
There's
ranking.
15 different flavors.
Okay.
All right. So let's do a blind ranking of these flavors. Okay. No particular order. No, I'm sure some of these flavors are a bit weird. To be honest.
Wouldn't expect anything less from you, mate.
So it is the ice. I'm giving free publicity. Everybody's gonna be going now. I mean, everybody not already goes, but yeah, there's usually a queue to go get the flavors. But we booked. We did a tasting inside their little cafe. It was good. It was good fun. At Anya Hindmarsh, outrageously expensive shit in Knightsbridge. So yeah, this was novelty factor high on this shit. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna write on my one. I think Chloe will be too fantastic if I write on her little one.
How
So
many have
the
we
whole
got to
thing.
rank, Tom?
So we got 15, but what was
Oh,
fun? I think
can't
people
blind
should
rank.
do
There's too
this.
many. Too many blind rank.
Too many to blind rank.
So blind. Well, to remember where we've gone in it. Like it's too much. Too much to blind rank. Do a full ranking. Do a proper one.
Do a full ranking. All right.
Yeah.
What? Then I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna order. You're gonna do non-blind ranking
No,
then.
but allow me to move them around.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So we have, in no particular order, we had bird's custard.
Burnt custard.
Or no, let's do it there. It's like we can have 3 categories. Dan wants to try. That could taste great if because it's ice cream.
Yeah.
Unsure, maybe want to have a little lick. Get in the bin. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Bird's custard, and then I'll tell you what it really tastes like.
Birds, as in
Birds.
the brand,
Birds.
Bird's custard.
Not burnt.
Yeah. It was burnt
Birds.
originally.
Bird. Pigeon. Eagle.
I mean, it'll be all right. It wouldn't be like my first choice.
No?
I don't want to try it. I don't want to try it. I don't want to try it.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to try it. Yeah.
Right. Branston Piccalilli.
New. Throw that in the bin straight away.
That was fucking gross. Yeah. Filippo Berio Pesto. Pesto.
Hell no. New.
It was not actually that bad. Weirdly.
Just no. No. Let's just. Are they all gonna be like this? Because that's a really bad.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Heinz baked beans.
No, just no. What are people doing to ice cream, man?
Kenko coffee.
I mean, a coffee would be all right, but Kenko's fucking shit.
Weird, right? Shit brand, but
it's the worst one.
Everybody knows, right?
Get in the bin as well. Get in the bin.
Dowie Egberts guy. Weird. I've not bought granules for a long time.
You just have proper espresso beans in there.
Yeah. All right, but that's not a brand, is it? What's the brand of proper espresso? Is that your brand? These aren't as these
even
are all
Nespresso
like
would have been better.
High. These are recognizable brands, Dan. That's the whole point.
So they're not high end brands at all.
No. Pico Man soy sauce.
I'd try it.
Be weird, wouldn't it? Because it's the kind of salty umami.
It's the sweet and salty thing, though, isn't it? But then it's the milk a bit too like maybe not. I'd want to try that one compared to the others. I'd try it.
Yeah. So that was all right, I think. I wrote like a smiley face next to the ones I liked and stuff because I'm a child. Molten sea salt.
Yes.
So that was good because it was actually like a dark chocolate ganache ice cream with basically sea salt in it, and it was like that
would be good. Yeah.
McVitie's penguin.
Yes.
I bought a tub of that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
100%.
McVitie's Jaffa Cake.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that. I knew it straight away as well. I was just like, yeah, that's Jaffa Cake. Beautiful. Yeah. This one, Pirello olive.
New.
Olives. That
Never
was
in a million years.
fucking gross. Oh my
Yep.
God, it was disgusting. Like, ugh, yeah.
Just no.
Um,
No, 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 no.
Robinson's lemon barley water. So that was a sorbet.
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be all right.
It was good
Yeah.
as a sorbet. It was like a little
Yeah.
palate cleanser. I'm not like that's what I was saying. I was just like I wouldn't buy it because I was like it's not a treat. I want my ice cream to be a treat. I don't think
Yeah.
sorbet is a
Yeah.
treat, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
not.
not.
It's like oh
No.
great, cool. I'm having that between courses at a really fancy like restaurant, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, Sarson's vinegar.
No. Why? What? It's almost like to make the others taste better, I swear.
I know, like the heighten the other ones. So, tip tree orange marmalade.
Yes.
That was all right. It was a bit meh. And then the last one was Tropicana orange juice.
Sorbet?
A little bit sorbet, yeah. What I could,
Yeah.
that tasted like, that tasted, I guess, of course it would. Tasted like Tropicana orange juice.
Like Tropicana, yeah, I thought that. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was a little bit like smoother, kind of like, it was kind of like Calippo, but smooth
I can
kind of
imagine it
thing.
being okay. I can imagine it being
Yeah,
okay.
it was pretty good to be fair. But yeah, the top ones were definitely like Penguin, Jaffa Cakes, and then oh yeah, there was one more. Sun Pat peanut butter.
Very good, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, that was
See, I don't know
pretty
why they
what
didn't go for like, I don't know why they didn't go for like Walker's Ready Salted Crisps or something, because that with a chocolate ice cream, I think would work well.
maybe they will. They changed a couple, like at least five of
Oh,
them,
they
like
changed it
every
then.
year. Like every year they change. So
There's so many
I
other
think it's been
brands that
going
they
for
could go that would actually go well. I don't,
yeah, but they're like we want to be edgy, weird and stuff.
fucking weird. That's what it is, definitely.
Yeah, the ones that
Fucking
were
edgy.
fucking gross were yeah, the piccalilli was not good, the pesto wasn't
Olive,
great,
pesto,
the
and piccalilli
olives
sounds
was not
horrific.
good. Yeah. The rest of them were okay. But it was cool little experience. I feel like people should do it at home. Not like maybe they make their own ice cream. Pretty weird. But Anya Hindmarsh, basically, they have gone all out to get those brand deals, definitely. And if you go on their website, they have like these little key rings and stuff, so you can get like a tomato ketchup packet key ring. Guess how much it is?
£8.
Higher.
You have to think about
Yeah, I was like, how does higher and lower work?
that. 12
Long
quid.
day. 12 quid.
Yeah, it's higher than eight.
Higher. Higher. I thought we said 80 at the first one. I thought we said 80.
How much?
Um, so a key ring, properly branded, made beautifully, £175.
Oh, fuck off.
And you have to be on a wait list, Dan. You have to be on a wait list.
People have got too much money, Tom.
Those are the people you sell PT to. Because one of my clients has got one.
How big is
Yes.
it?
Uh, a tomato ketchup packet. Exactly. If you got a Heinz tomato ketchup packet from fucking Five Guys, looks exactly like that, is spongy. That's how big it is.
It's a key ring.
£175. Yeah. There's a couple of other ones as
Well,
well.
the world's gone mad on it. That, come on.
Cost of living crisis, and people are spending £175 on a keyring. So you're the Google now, aren't
Yeah.
you? Anya Hindmarsh, Heinz keyring, I'm sure. If you want to find it.
I mean, I can get a Heinz tomato ketchup bottle key ring for a lot less. Ah, does it not? Oh, I don't even want to look any further. That's enough.
You probably have to like type the brand in, I'm sure.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to look at it. I don't
I'll
want to do
send
it.
it. I'll send it. It's fine.
That is bonkers. I don't care how much money you've got. That has to be ridiculous. Your client's got one. Of course, it's ridiculous.
He's from Kuwait, so he's from your part of the world, mate. So I blame you. You'll
Yeah.
have one. All of them will have one in Dubai soon. It'll be like the thing. You'll be fine. You'll love
Well,
it. I'm getting you one for Christmas.
I want a HP sauce one, not a ketchup.
Like, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you should get one, Tom." And I was like, "That, my friend, buys 2 rounds at some pretty good golf courses. So I'm all right.
Yes,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have
100%.
2 rounds at like the golf course I played was 75 quid the other week. I was like, I can go there and have a beer after each round, and I still got change. We're all good.
It's mad, isn't
It's
it?
absolutely fine.
Absolutely
I'd
mad.
rather I'd rather do that. Unfortunately.
Yeah,
So yeah.
crazy,
Anyway,
crazy.
I'll get your testing has come among us. What I want to say upon us in the combine group, which also does mean you've got, according to this guy now, 10 days, 9 days, 8 days, 7 days, between seven and eight,
Which one is it,
9 days. I can't
yeah,
remember.
which one
If
is
this
it?
comes out on Wednesday, I feel like it's 8 days until the waitlist closes, just FYI, for the next combine group. So you can join in. So there's some cool little referral deals that happen on there as well. If you want to join in with a
Mm,
friend, you might get it there, but you have to join the waitlist. Fucking hell.
don't
Which is all
have
good.
any
But
friends, so
you've
can't
seen you
join.
don't have any friends, so it's fine.
Yo.
But I thought you get your opinion on maybe some testing protocols. What did you used to do? What do people should do? What is there any tests that you do nutritionally that you might do phase every now and again? What would you suggest for people? Because obviously there's a lot of
How many
PTs that
marshmallows you can
look
fit in your
up.
mouth in one go? That's the good one.
There's a lot of PTs that look up to you and you give them great ideas by copying my systems, and
Yeah.
then yeah. But
I would just say
basically,
do whatever you do, Tom. What I'd say.
I can talk about well, it'd be interesting to see what you did way back when. If there's any nutritional stuff that kind of you can do, but I can kind of lay into what I do on the combine. It's every 8 weeks, every 10 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, somewhere like that. But we change certain things depending on what we're doing and what we've been training. But essentially, there are 3 tests in every category. We have 3 strength-based tests, which is strength is anywhere. It's like 5 RMs.
Yeah.
Anybody that's testing 1 RMs can get in the bin. Not much point, if I'm honest. Probably going to fuck you up for the rest of the week, bearing in mind, or the rest of the session. So CNS will be absolutely shot to pieces. Bearing in mind, my testing weeks take 2 weeks. Bear that in mind. So they've got one every 3 days, how they're spread out. So people don't realize it's not testing week. Testing fortnight is probably the correct terminology. But I
I'd say,
use
yeah.
a trap bar deadlift or normal deadlift. I use a single arm press, and I use what else do I do? A split squat for the strength stuff. Then we go into horizontal power, and then we have vertical power. Those are my 2 separation things. I think that's probably the category that a lot of people don't do in normal everyday fitness. They probably go straight for strength and then they'll do some kind of strength endurance thing, which is fine. But the
Mm.
power stuff is big. And it's probably the biggest key indicator for me to where people are going to next, especially if number one, big right now, you're a runner, you will need to test like probably vertical and horizontal power in a counter movement jump and a non-counter movement jump. What does that mean, Daniel?
Means you drop down into the jump and you jump into it, or you don't have to jump into it. No, it's basically where we used to do it in football all the time. You basically are allowed to move as you
Yeah.
jump or not,
Yeah.
essentially. So
Essentially, like yeah. So we got squat jumps and and counter movement jumps. I think people that's how
those
they
used to hate that one where they have to squat down and then wait,
you squat. Yeah,
and they
but
were
like
like,
you have to be
they never get it
in
right.
tension for 3 seconds,
Yeah,
basically. Like you squat down, and then all the elastic energy leaves your body, and then you're just working on concentric force, right? Whereas the counter movement, you're allowed to drop down hard and get out. You're not doing a full squat, just in case people think that's happening.
yeah,
If you wanted to jump as high as possible, you're not going to do a full squat. That's essentially the key that we need to do. But you need to know the difference between those two massively. And the same with the broad jump and a non-counter movement broad jump. Those are the biggest ones. And also there's a reactive broad jump as well. So like a double, I get people to do a triple broad jump. So they bounce out each
So that
side.
would, so for you then, testing that, just so that I can make sure that I got this right, that would dictate whether you need to focus on certain plyometrics based on force absorption or force generation.
Correct. I would be looking at, yeah, if they need to do more plyometric stuff or if they need to do more strength stuff and see where their weak link is, basically. If their squat jump was really good and their counter movement jump sucked, and it'd be like, right, you're not very good at kind of eliciting elastic strength. You're no
Right.
good at that. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to do more plyometric jumps. We need to do more high force jumps and probably be able to drop and absorb and put it out again. If it was the vice versa, the other way around, so your counter movement jump was really good, but then you struggled when you had to pause and just put concentric fours in, which is probably most runners, if I'm honest.
Mm.
Um, that would mean you're weak. Okay. We need to do more loaded base jumps. We need to do
I,
more isometric
I
contractions.
reckon if you were to look at a broad spectrum of people, I'd say most people, that's why they see that benefit in their power from doing strength work. But then the reason that they never get any better from that point is they just do the strength work. They don't do any plyos.
Yeah.
I like with
Likely.
runners, like I say, prime example is like they're probably okay at doing the bouncy stuff, the plyometric bit. They get stronger, and then they go, oh, I'm not like improving any further. And it's like, yeah, because you're not doing any of the higher velocity stuff. I think that's the same across the board with with footballers and stuff. It's like they do quite a bit of the power stuff, which is why if they did the strength, they see bigger increases because they do a lot of the plyo stuff a lot of the time.
Yeah, they
And I'd
naturally
say
do it. And
most people don't do plyo. Even when they go to the gym, they don't do plyos, but they do that bit. That's
they
why
get
they're not
scared.
very explosive.
They get scared about it as well, right? They get scared about doing the jumps and they get scared about doing that kind of stuff. So it's one of the
Mm.
biggest things. What I think it was something mad that like most people don't sprint by the time they're 30. Like after that, they're just you're not going to sprint again. But I mean, obviously there was a big thing when we were in football that Nordic hamstring curls are like the best things ever. And you're like, now the data is coming out, it's like actually the biggest thing for hamstring strength and resilience is one, sprinting
Yeah.
is the biggest hamstring training exercise you can fucking do. And then seated leg curls. Because
Mm.
seated leg curls have come back over the Nordics because most hamstring like I don't know tears or injuries happen in hip flexion. So I would like, and obviously in Nordics, you're in hip extension, same as I think people think that a lying hamstring curl is probably better than the seated one. Probably not. Probably not if you're an athlete. You probably want the other
Mm.
one. You will probably want a seated leg curl, so you're in hip flexion, so you're sitting upright,
Mm.
because that's where your hamstring will generate force for when you're sprinting forwards. So, yeah, it
I saw
changes.
what did I see the other day? I saw someone talk about this saying how like one of the best ways to prevent hamstring injuries in pre-season is to keep sprinting during your off season. Like you just said there, they were saying like
100%, yeah.
basically if you're in off season, they're like, oh, if you want to know what to do in your off season, obviously strength training, number one, keep doing that, and number two is keep high intensity maximal sprinting in at least once a week into your training.
I would say twice. I think
Yeah,
it's for power. Power and speed generally fucks off after 2 to 3 days. Will start decreasing. You won't be able to sprint as fast as you can. So sprinters are sprinting hard at full pelt probably every other day, and maybe allowing themselves a little bit more recovery, like I don't know, 3 days before an event or something like that. Yeah, I don't think people realize that, and it's just like, all
mm,
right, that elastic strength and those kind of resilient properties for high end intensity need to be repetitively worked, but doesn't mean you need to do lots of repetitions of them. I think
no,
that's
it's just
the
exposure to that
caveat. It's
maximum
just
amount,
like
right? Yeah.
exposure to maximal like force and exposure to that. It's not like what most people will do, but like, all right, well, we've got to do loads of them when we're doing it. No, it's not sprint repeatability. We're not trying to do that. We're just trying to expose you to that force for a couple of like probably like 6 to 8 times. That's it. And then
Mm.
you're good. You're absolutely fine. Your body's going to start going, shit, I'm just going to turn this into endurance. I'm no longer producing that amount of force. So we're a little bit more fatigued. Cool. Then obviously the strength endurance stuff in testing is my classic 30 to 50% goblet body weight goblet squats for 60 seconds. Fucking gross. Did you know there's a sit to stand test in I did it the other day in for general health. I'd be interested to see what you do. So you have to like basically squat down into a chair This is for like government health guidelines. Squat into a chair and then get up. 30 seconds. You have to. How many do you think you could do as quickly as possible?
No idea.
So for somebody to be um, basically physically active, why is there
Oh,
balloons?
why is there balloons?
What
That's good, isn't it?
the fuck? So that's it to stand test. Yeah, in 30 seconds of basically Dan's doing it currently on the podcast. Um, for you to be, I think it's like a 70-year-old not to have care or to be classified as still physically able, they have to do 17 in 30 seconds.
17. I mean,
17. That's a lot, right? It feels like a lot. I managed to do 30. I managed to do one a second.
yeah, I think I could do one a second.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
But
four.
I was doing it with my buddy who's the professor of fucking physiology or sports. Well, it's got up again.
Yeah, what's going on
Of
with the reactions on this fucking
sports
scene?
medicine. And he could only do like 23. I was like, fucking hell, you're shit.
Yeah, that is
He's
mad,
taller
isn't
than
it?
me, so he's got a long way to go. But I was like, I felt like that's quite a lot. I don't know why, but yeah. You're deemed if you can't do less. People do it. Whoever you're listening, go sit down and stand up really quickly for 30 seconds. Pause this, and then come back and tell us what you did. Interesting one. Be interesting one to do with like clients and stuff. There's also a hang test. I think people can do,
Mm.
but that's not in my combine. And then obviously we got a 5K run and ESD stuff. So it's interesting. I'd just like to, yeah, I think again, I thought we talked about this at length previously, but obviously we've got to keep on putting our message out there, right? So
Mm.
the whole point of my combine is giving coaches a something to train for. If they're not training for anything, I'm giving you something to train for so you can brand the fuck out of what you're doing and practicing what you preach and then learning about certain things so you can go and apply it. And that's the whole point of the whole system. And if you're not training for anything, but it's giving you something to improve, then you might get excited about shit. I've actually run a 5K. I can go do a park run now, or with my clients, I can do a 10K. I've decided I'm good at this. I like jumping. I like doing this stuff. That's the
Mm.
whole point of testing. And you start to discover what was really good. So I liked sprinting, but I did that through like races and stuff like that. So you start to do more of that stuff, much like we did like Olympic lifting or powerlifting and stuff like that. We only did
Yeah.
it by testing ourselves and getting excited about that. So that's the whole point of it. And I massively still want people to do it, even if it's not with me. It would be better if it's done with me. That's you're gonna get real results. But yeah, I think people should still do it throughout the summer and do some testing on. It doesn't have to be 15 different fucking tests. I think just do 4 across a week with your
Mm.
clients. I don't know if there's any that like your guys are doing, any mentor clients that you've got doing any kind of different ones. Um,
I think one of
that
my
kind
clients, I
of
think he
thing.
used to train with you anyway. So I think he does something similar where I think he has a couple of tests that he does with people. Again, not so much in person, I think more the online stuff. Um,
Is it
but a lot of
Ollie?
them don't. Ollie, yeah, yeah. Ollie does,
Yeah,
I
we
think he
go.
does a couple of
Yeah.
things
He
similar to
was
that.
one of the nice ones that gave me credit for that. Yeah. He
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I've just stolen it, Tom. Is that right? I was like,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I don't own the tests, believe it or not.
Yeah. It's a funny one with nutrition, obviously, because you said about what tests you do nutrition wise. It's obviously you won't really do any tests because it's kind of
Oh,
like,
it's
how many hot
interesting,
dogs
man.
can we eat in a minute? It's like you do that too well. So we need to reduce the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of I guess with that, I one of the things I used to do was do an assessment week with clients. So you kind of go through a full week of like, okay, what do you normally eat? What does it look like? And then also I also then would in the first week when they then start tracking their calories, if it was appropriate for them, take photos of the meals you're eating. Because one thing I would say about coaches they don't do often enough is marry up the numbers with the actual food and what it looks like. You're assuming your client is eating all this stuff. You don't know. And I quite like the whole like take a photo of it and upload it and like let's look at whole day stuff. And again, because then you start looking at colors of foods, whether they're tracking it properly or not. You're looking at whether they're getting a broad spectrum range of veggies and all this sort of stuff. Because what someone says is eating, half a bell pepper in my meal. It's like, is it in there though? Like, is it half an onion? Like all these sorts of the questions you can ask people. Things even like how, taking photos of your food shopping so I can see what your trolley looks like and explaining to them like what needs to be in there more of, less of, like think about setting up your environment for success. Again, like it's more of that stuff that I think is often underplayed. Coaches are just very quick at going, oh, here's your macros, here's your calories. It's like, oh, okay, that's one part of the smaller part of the equation. Um, it is down to habits and setting up your environment for success, like I just said, and then looking at photos of the food, whether it looks aesthetically pleasing. People actually enjoy their food more if it looks good rather than just fucking, shit on a plate. So all these things come into it, where I guess you come under more of the testing stuff that maybe you're doing. It's a similar thing. It's like having a, I suppose, a record of it to learn in 3 months. I can go, yeah, but look at your food now and look what it was like. Like this is so much better. Like this has got more flavor, it's got more variety. This is, whatever. That's what I think is useful. I don't think enough coaches do. Is like I used to repeat assessment week. So I used to do an assessment week within 3 months, and I'd be like, all right, let's look at it now. And then I used to compare the two and go, well, look how much you've improved. There's so much less processed food here now. There's so much more protein. There's so much more fiber. And I think that was more from a reflection point of view for the client than it was for like a test. It's just always good to reflect on those things. And much in the same way the testing is, right? You go, well, look how far you come in these things, and you didn't think you were doing great.
And
So
it
I think
doesn't mean
coaches
for a
don't
lot of
do that.
people, it doesn't mean you have to repeat all of those tests. Just FYI,
No,
it's
no.
like I would like pick out a few depending on what you're
Probably the
doing.
worst
Like,
one's knowing you, fucking knob. Yeah.
strength
Tom, I've got to do
endurance,
the 50%
BSD.
body weight goblet squat one again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again.
I've seen it every week now.
I actually put that in one of my clients' programs as an actual exercise.
I think I've done the same thing, to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, fuck
I
it.
was like,
I would give them like 45 seconds of goblet squats, something like that, 3 times.
yeah,
Instead, I'm just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, fuck it.
I
Different
used to do two sets to
belly.
failure, of half 50% body weight. That was fucking
Like,
brutal. Yeah.
that's absolutely gross. Yeah, it's like, oh, what are you doing? But yeah, I think one of the positive things about High Rocks has been it's given people tangible times to go for, and they'll test
Yeah.
and retest. There's High Rocks simulations like that people go and do, and they're like, oh, I'm getting ready for my sim, getting doing this, and like that's awesome. That doesn't really happen a lot for a lot of coaches in the gym for their clients, and I think that's great, but apply
Yeah.
it to everything that you can do it for. Obviously, there's stuff that we don't give a shit about, like pull downs, your daisy chain shit. I don't know, anything bicep curls. You can do a one arm bicep curl if you really want to. Weird. It used to be in powerlifting, didn't it?
Did it? Oh yeah, no, because you used to have to do it with like against the wall, didn't you?
Do it
Almost like
against
you
the
have to
wall,
use
you're like,
elbows. Like, yeah.
yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, just I think it's great for high rocks. It's great for anything like that. I think it's done a lot in obviously in sport, but I think there's this kind of like thing like, oh no, that's for athletes or whatever. Fucking no, like
Yeah.
it's all relative. Like that's one of the cool things about park runs. Like we're all running 5Ks or 10Ks, and you're excited. It's you against you. Don't worry about everybody else. It's you trying to get better. I think a lot
Yeah.
of people. That's one of the cool things about triathlon. I'm just trying to beat myself. I've got certain times that I want to happen, and yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
I think the thing I like about those sorts of things with high rocks and triathlons and stuff is that you are beating yourself, like your own time. But there is also the competitive element as well of like the community and being like, well, I want to be in the top percentage,
Yeah, I
or
want to be
my
in
next
that
goal is to break
percentile.
into that. So you can get the benefit. I think you get the benefit of both with that.
Mm.
Like I quite like with it. Yeah, that I think works quite well. I think same with me with golf. It's like next summer, like next winter, I want to do more competitions. Yes, because I want to see how I stack up and want to improve over time. But I also want to make sure that I'm being in the top 20 of what one would be great. It'd be a great goal of mine to be in top 20 of a competition. Great. Okay, cool. Because you do want to see how you stack up against other people as well to a certain degree.
Yeah,
That's what I
I
think is
think
great
so.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I think that's important. I think it's that competitive nature that us as coaches and stuff that need. And then if we can get that onto our clients, it's only going to help them succeed. And then you can coach them through it. Yeah, there's going to be disappointments, but guess what? Coach. If something hasn't
Mm.
worked that well, and like, oh, actually, I had Alex. He listens to the show, and he went through a testing week last week, the week before, and there was a couple of things that didn't improve, which is absolutely
Mm.
fine. They actually got worse, but they haven't been our focus whatsoever. Our focus has been on our running, and that's come on fucking leaps and bounds and leaps and bounds. But it's that whole kind of hierarchy. If you're on the combine, I talk about the needs analysis of hierarchy as slight improvements, maintenance, and kind of mass improvements, and what you try to go towards. And it's like, all right, I was trying to maintain. We might not. Like, I was trying to get enough kind of volume in his sessions to. I think there was a couple of things that didn't quite do much. I feel like it was in the strength endurance that, and then we're like, we've highlighted that because he's a high rocks athlete. And it's like, all right, cool. We need to spend way more time doing 10s and 12s of big based movements because your strength endurance sucks. Well, it doesn't suck, but it hasn't improved as much as I thought it would. So for those, the goblet squats and so the press ups and for his AMRAP pull ups, they weren't as good globally as I thought they'd be. So guess what? He's going to be doing like sets of 10 back squats, sets of tens on like walking lunges, stuff like that, kind of the higher volume of the strength based movements. So he can build up a better tolerance and lactate kind of threshold within. But I could only fucking get there because I tested it. Otherwise, I'm peeing into the wind the whole time. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm shooting, like thinking, let's do this one this month. Let's focus on that. And you just kind of ebb and flow based off like, oh, we should be doing strength, we should be doing power, but I don't really know unless I get that answer. And I know that his other stuff, his strength stuff, went really high. So I'm like, cool. We spent a lot of time under some like high intensity and some decent load, but we haven't spent enough time under other stuff. And it's like, all right, cool. Let's get the data. It's like when you'll be looking at people's the interactions, I'm sure, like when you're doing your business stuff,
I was
right?
literally about to
It's
say that. Like
yeah,
it's exactly the same as
insights.
like I can look back over someone's data and I go, right, I can see what the problem is. And they're like, oh, I'm getting no client sign up. Why is that? I'm like, well, you've only done 2 CTAs in the last 4 weeks. So
Yeah.
why would anyone reach out? And then, all my engagement's a little bit low. And I'm like, well, looking back over your content, you've rushed your content, you've not planned it properly, you've not created it well enough in advance. Like it's funny how, like, say, when you have data, you can make informed decisions. Shock horror. Something that coaches just don't do. It's fascinating to see that. You can. I think the other thing as well with coaches that I was going to talk about based on what you just said was when you have the data, you can then have a goal for the next 2-3 months. So like we had this call on Monday, is that too many times coaches they forget about their goal at that point in time. So like I'll have someone who's on, and I'm like, right, we want to try and increase engagement, increase your email list. We want to try and increase people who are interested in what you're doing, and we're looking to maintain client numbers over the next 2 months rather than try and grow them massively because we want to build a group coaching for September time. Then they have 2 week period where they don't have anyone sign up and they panic, and I'm like, that's not the goal right now. Like I told you that 2 weeks ago, and they want everything all at once. And it's like the athlete that wants to increase their power, increase their endurance, get more muscle, but also be leaner. And you're like, are you fucking high? Like, no, you go through phases with this. You go through to peak for a certain competition. I'm says to coach all the time, is like, we're going through a phase right now to peak later on in the year. What's wrong with that? Like, why can't we be okay with that? And it's fascinating how it has, like you say, it has so many comparisons that are so similar. And I used to say this to clients all the time. I'm like, what would you say to a client who was in your position who was worried about their fat loss not moving quick enough? Trust the process.
Trust the
Don't look at your
process.
scale weight all the time. Right. Same fucking thing. It's fucking panicking. Like, yeah, it's mad.
It is mad,
Absolutely mad.
but
Yeah.
yeah, go do some testing. Or fucking just yeah, you got I don't know. By the time we ended this podcast, probably 4 days left.
Yeah.
But yeah, sign up waitlist. Right, there was one thing on another podcast that I was listening to. Listen, this is one of the side effects of doing far too much training. One of the side effects is my VO2 max has gone up.
Your
Thank
VO2
you.
max has gone up,
My
obviously. I
VO2,
mean,
I'm now a healthy fucker, basically. On my actually, well, naturally my cycling one is 4 points higher than my running one. Shock. Just FYI, guys, VO2 max corresponds to the equipment and what sport you're doing. Doesn't isn't global. It's not
yeah.
just I've got this VO2 max. I'm far better at cycling than I am at running. Shock. Oh,
Isn't everyone?
everyone should be, but
Yeah, I
probably
think I
not.
think it's just that's what I mean. I mean, as in like I think it's just generally easier, right?
It's generally easier in terms of
Mm.
being able to keep your heart rate low. But yeah, I know I have a friend who's far better at running than he is cycling, and because he has no muscle mass, and he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a springy bitch compared to it's one of those things, muscle mass because you don't really need a lot of elastic properties to do cycling,
Yeah.
really. Which running you do. Yeah, springy. Um, right, Dan. This is a very hearty question, and it was interesting. It was Richard Osman and what's her face? It's gonna annoy me now. Fuck
I don't
me.
know.
Um, The rest is entertainment. She said a big bowl of something is the best remedy or best hearty thing that you can have to feel like fulfilled and like I don't know, happy. What would be your big bowl of one thing that would make you feel satisfied no matter what it is? A big bowl of something. Is because I like a big bowl of chili, like makes you like, oh yeah, yeah, I've got a big bowl of chili, or is it a big bowl of cereal,
No,
or is it a big
chili
bowl
would
of
not be anywhere
like
near my fucking top of that.
a big bowl of
Um,
something is like if you were to like settle down and like you're gonna watch a movie or some sport and you've got a big bowl of something, what would you have? Or what would top three things make you happy?
hmm. I'm oh God, top
Big
three
bowl of
then.
golf
Okay, let's do
balls.
top three. Yeah, golf ball. Yeah, top three.
Big bowl of
Um,
cash. Yeah, fun.
yeah, why not throw that at us? I think this is gonna. I don't know if people are gonna love me or hate me for this. Revels will be up there for one,
Rebels.
right?
Oh, what is this? Because
Because of
he's like,
the because
I'm
of the
treating a
variety,
system because there's a variety, and I don't just
because
have
the
to have one
variety,
thing. Fuck off,
because the
man. Cheating the system.
variety, right? Because the variety. Um, I do think toffee
Absolute
popcorn. You
loophole.
can't really go wrong with toffee popcorn. I just don't think you can go
Toffee
wrong with it.
popcorn.
Yeah,
It's not
like
even
Sunkist,
salt. Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
that one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never
Salted
understand
popcorn.
why is it sold in? It's not in the Scoopy things with the like the sweet and salty, is it? Like ever?
No, no,
Like
no.
you can't do that. They don't make
Just
that.
Sunkist. And then
Popcorn. Interesting.
I think kettle chips. I just
Oh
think kettle
man.
chips are
Yeah, I
just,
did. I did that whilst I was watching the football. I did. I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna watch the football and eat a bowl of fucking kettle chips. It was great. Big hearty bowl. Yeah. Well, mine, I would like a big bowl of chili. I'd quite like chili.
chili, man. That's just
Would you not like some Doritos, some chili? Nice big, like a hearty
no. It's
bowl of
just not
chili
even
on like
something
a
that
or
even crosses my mind.
a stew on a nice cold like day. You're watching, obviously watching the back catalogue of Star Wars on like Christmas Day. That's what we do at the whole family household. And then we eat in a bowl of chili. We don't do that. I'm joking, but that would be a good
Right.
day for me. I would that would be very hearty. I wouldn't do fucking revels,
Rebels
because
over fucking chili, right? Okay.
but
I bet if we put a vote out tomorrow, said if you had a big bowl of something while watching a film,
yeah, well,
chili or
notoriously,
Rebels.
the you've got loads
No,
of
notoriously,
vegans
I'm
that
always
follow
right
you.
and you're always wrong. Notoriously,
Oh,
it's not about.
dare
I mean,
you?
it's
I'm
not about
sorry.
like oh, people just do it just because they support you and they don't. You just have shit tasting stuff. That's a fact. People have backed me up on that. No end.
No, no
Oh,
chance.
Christ.
Whatever.
Chili. A big bowl of
Chili. Big
chili.
bowl of chili with
You
some
think of
sour
million.
cream on top,
I could
mate.
think of 10 things I'd rather have from that. Ice
You
cream, number
you
one.
you retracted from a million very
Yeah.
quickly there.
Yeah, that's it.
Million
Million.
ten. We'll go with
Yeah, a
10.
million.
That's
10.
it.
I was thinking how quickly I name shift. I was like, ice cream, hula hoops,
Mate,
Jaffa
you're right.
cakes.
I'm giving you a big bowl of Branston Piccalilli ice cream then. Mate, you asked for it. That's fine. Big bowl, massive fucking bowl, like mixer
Oh,
bowl. Big bowl of chili or a stew. I don't mind what it is. That'd be great. I absolutely love that.
stew.
I think you
Stew.
underestimate how like much I like slow cooking. Like I'm gonna be one of those guys that gets that barbecue, like Gordon. Like I want one of those big green eggs and like do a slow
Yeah,
barbecue.
I think they're decent. I think
A
nothing wrong with
big bowl of
that.
that. Just big bowl of meat. Fucking hell, Coach Carnival can.
Yeah. That's your
Taking
into
over.
carnival, mate.
I don't know what else though. Yeah, I don't know. I had like a big bowl of ice creams and I'd have to write like a sundae with loads of stuff on it. But yeah, those would be my
Mate, you
favorites.
said chili, remember? Chili.
Yeah,
Chili.
I'm having chili and then some
Unbelievable.
crisps and then some sort of Maltesers. I'm having a big bowl of Maltesers.
Maltesers I'm on board with because they're in
Okay,
Rebels,
cool.
so that's fine.
Yeah, but you're just gonna bite into those fucking little caramel ones that are like bullets every now and again and just hate life. So and
Yeah.
then go, oh, I wish I just had Maltesers. Like, at least I know, guarantee every single one. Like
I like all the Rebels. Every single Rebel I like.
you like all of them.
Yeah. Why
Oh,
else would you
mate,
pick them?
we're putting that poll out. Like the amount of people that don't like don't like all of them compared to don't like a few of them will be astronomical.
Yeah, but I just think that even the coffee one's not too bad.
Oh, coffee one's
But
fine.
like,
Caramel one's
yeah,
awful.
but okay, I come back to it, mate. If I had to choose between Revels or Chili, like again, I put that poll out first. Put that poll out first, then we'll discuss whether I'm right or wrong. Okay.
You're just a bunch of kids. Bunch of kids follow you as well. On that note, any other business?
Yeah, I'm gonna go fucking get a new best mate to do a podcast with because fuck me, Chili, man. I can't believe you said Chili. Make it spag bol. Make it spag bol. Why not?
No,
For
I
the
don't want
sake of
spag
it.
bowl.
Fuck it.
No, no, no.
Chili.
Chili's
Chili.
great. Big bowl
I
of
thought I
hearty
knew
chili.
you. I thought I knew you.
Big bowl of burgers. There you go. Yeah, I'm happier. Big bowl of chicken wings. Ooh,
Right. Okay.
actually.
Now we're talking. Now
I haven't
you've
thought this
saved yourself at
through.
the end there with the any other business. You saved yourself. Is what
I
I'm
wrote
gonna
it
say.
down, but I didn't write chili. I was just thinking of big bowls of stuff, and chili comes in a bowl. So I wouldn't do mac and cheese. Big letdown. Big letdown. That's the worst thing ever.
No other business for me, mate. No.
Nothing from me. Ghost Down Up Combine waitlist is open now until probably this time next week.
Catch you later.
All right. Boy, boy.